your mother tongue is Italian, Indian, German, or Turkish, or any other languages. Has this ever happened to you?
So, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you? Hey, where are you going?
Nani?
What happened here? I wasn't fluent, right? I had a big pause between thinking and saying. But why? Because I was thinking in my mother tongue, not in English. But what happens when you think in your mother tongue first? Then you will have to translate to English. And obviously, when you try to translate from your mother tongue to English, you need time. And this time will kill your fluency. And not just your fluency, it also affects your grammar. Let's say I'm Italian, and I want to say that I'm hungry. This is what I would say. Ho fame. This is how you would say it in Italian. Now, ho means I have, and fame means hunger. So if I want to translate it from Italian to English, I would have to say, I have hunger. But that doesn't make sense because I should say, I am hungry. So this translation will kill my fluency and ruin my grammar. And all of this happened because I thought in my mother tongue first. But here's an idea. What if you could think in English first? You wouldn't have to translate, and your grammar would not be affected in the translation process. If you can do this, then you can instantly become more fluent and instantly improve your grammar. Now, here's the real question. How can you think in English? Let me show you 5 proven ways in which you can train your mind to think in English and stop translating. Label everything around you. In order for your mind to start thinking in English, it must be surrounded by English and be constantly reminded of it. An easy but a very effective way you can do this is by putting a label on everything around you. But how does this help? When you label things around you, English becomes part of your daily life. You don't just study English, you live with it. Every time you see the word lamp, your brain will make the connection between the word and the object. Over time, this helps you remember vocabulary faster and more naturally. It also helps you stop thinking in your first language. Let's say I see this object, the first word that comes to mind is lamp, not luce. Now, luce is the Italian word for it. Or lampada. Anyways, that's a lamp. I have to think in English. Lamp, lamp, lamp. It's like making your room your classroom. A fun and a real classroom. And the best part is you will learn without trying too hard, because everything is labeled in English. Narrate your daily life. This one's very fun and it works wonders. As you are doing your daily tasks, describe what you're doing as if it was a story and you're the main character. It's something like this. All right, I'm doing the dishes. Here's a plate, and that's a dirty spoon. I hate doing the dishes. I'm watching TV now. That is a good TV show. Look at the remote control. Ah, let me change the channel. Let's drink coffee. Oh, I love the smell of coffee. I don't like milk in my coffee. I like my coffee without sugar. Sugar is bad for you. But why does this help? As you narrate your daily tasks, your brain starts connecting English to your daily actions. You stop translating from your native language and start thinking in English. Over time, this becomes automatic. You see a spoon and you immediately think of spoon, not any other words in your own language. Or you pick up a spoon and you suddenly think about, hey, I picked up a spoon. You don't think in your first language. You start thinking in English. And over time, as I said, it becomes automatic. So you don't even have to try so hard. It's something like talking to yourself in English all day. And guess what? That is how fluency begins. The more you do it, the more fluent you'll become. Talk to yourself. When I was learning English, I remember I had a teacher who used to say, if you want to speak English fluently, you have to be a little crazy. He meant that you must talk to yourself a lot, wherever you are, whenever you can. It doesn't matter if other people can see you and think, hey, this guy's talking to himself or herself. He or she must be crazy. Well, you need to be a little crazy if you want to be fluent. So a very good practice is to talk to yourself in English. But how? Use your imagination. You can imagine situations, people, or even conversations. Beep. Hey, how's it going? I need to go to the store today. Yeah, I need to buy a t-shirt. You know, it's summer and I don't have any summer clothes. It's really hot. You know, learning English is hard, but if you practice every day, you can do it. Guys, any plans for the weekend? We're going to the lake. Yes, it's really hot, you know, and I love the lake. We can go camping and we can stay there for like 2 nights. Yeah, we'll make a campfire. But why does this help? Because you're basically trying to train your brain into thinking in English, into preparing for different conditions and scenarios. And when those conditions and those scenarios come in real life, you are actually prepared for it because you have practiced it before. So you're not just practicing in classroom or doing your homework or reading a book. What you're doing is you're actually practicing English in real life. Let's say I'm imagining a conversation between me and an imaginary girl. And I'm trying to impress this girl because I want to date her and I like her. So I imagine that I'm walking with this girl, I'm having a conversation. Because it's a date, I will have to talk about myself, right? I would have to say what my job is, what my aspirations are, where am I going in life. So I would imagine something like this. Yeah, my name is Maddie, I'm an English teacher, and I think it's a very good job because I find it fulfilling, really. It's satisfying because I can see that I'm actually helping other people become fluent. See, I'm having a conversation with myself. Now, if in real life I see a girl and I like her and we go on a date, I can start talking about myself easily. Why? Because I have practiced it before. So talk to yourself. Don't worry about what other people may think. Use your imagination. Think about different scenarios and try to speak with yourself in English. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. It doesn't matter. You will improve your mistakes by working on your grammar little by little. It's a gradual process. But in the meantime, just talk to yourself. Trust me. Keep a journal. Now, this is one of the best ways to think in English every day. Just take 5 to 10 minutes. That's all. Spend 5 to 10 minutes writing about your day in English in a notebook or on your phone. Again, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Nobody's going to see that. It's just for you. And you don't have to write very long sentences. Write small, simple sentences, but do it every day.
Today I woke up late. I had eggs and tea for breakfast. I studied English for 30 minutes. Then I watched a funny video on YouTube. Now I am writing this journal. I feel happy because I'm improving.
Now, why does this help? Well, first of all, writing helps speaking a lot. If you want to speak well, you need to write a lot. Because when you're writing, you don't have to worry about fluency. You're only focused on writing complete sentences. You don't have to worry about fluency because you have time to write. But in real life situations, you don't have too much time to think about grammar, vocabulary, how should I phrase this sentence. So writing is the first step to becoming fluent when you're speaking in English. Writing on its own is a great practice. But when you do this every day, when you keep a journal, and you practice writing about your day every day, what happens is you're training your mind to think in English about what happened in that day. And so little by little, during the day, your mind will start recording information because it knows that at the end of the day, I'm going to have to write them down in a notebook. So your mind starts recording information in English. I mean, how amazing is that? If you can do that, you are practically fluent. And a very good exercise is going back to the texts you wrote the days or the months before. So review your notes, read them, and what you will see is amazing because you can see how better you're becoming over time. You can actually see your progress. And that by itself will motivate you to do it more often. So grab a notebook and start writing tonight. Only 5 to 10 minutes every night, but do it every night. Stop the bad habits. Sometimes the reason why we cannot think in English is because of the habits that we have that stop us from thinking in English. There are some habits that keep your brain stuck to your native language, to your mother tongue. If you want to think in English, you have to break this habit. Or should I say these habits, because they are 4. Bad habit number 1, watching movies with subtitles in your mother tongue. Now, this is one of the worst things you can do because you're listening to English, but you're reading in your mother tongue. And guess which one has a higher priority for your brain? The one with your mother tongue, because it's easier for your brain to understand that. So over time, as you're watching that movie, your mind will stop listening to your ears and only focus on what you see, which is the subtitle in your mother tongue. Don't do this ever. Instead, watch the movie with the subtitles in English. So you hear in English and you see English, and your brain will connect the text to the audio. Now, it is true that at first you might not understand the movie, and so it may take away the pleasure of watching movies, really. But think of it like this. You're not doing it as a hobby. If you want to do it as a hobby, fine, but you're not doing this as a hobby. You're doing this to improve your English. So do not watch movies with subtitles in your mother tongue. 2, do not take notes in your mother tongue. Let's say you came across a new word today and you wrote it down. If you then write the meaning of that word in your mother tongue or write the pronunciation in the alphabet of your mother tongue, you are making a huge mistake. Because again, you're training your mind to translate from English to your mother tongue. Don't ever do this. So if I've learned a new word and I write it down, then how would I remember the meaning if I don't write it down in my mother tongue? Well, that's why we have English to English dictionaries. You can use Cambridge Online Dictionary, search a word, and then write down the definition in English. So you have the word in English and you have the definition and meaning in English too. In addition, using the same dictionary, you can write down a beautiful example sentence. So you have the word, you have the meaning, and you have an example sentence. Or if you find it too difficult, draw a picture. So let's say the word that you've learned today is bird. And you want to write down bird, but do not write the meaning in your language. Instead, draw a little picture of a bird. At least you're not training your mind to translate. What if that word is cacophony? How am I going to draw cacophony? Well, in that case, I really recommend checking English to English dictionaries. They usually have very easy to understand definitions, especially Cambridge Online Dictionary. Oh, another idea. You can use ChatGPT. Put a word there and say, hey, give me a very easy to understand meaning for this word. Whatever ChatGPT says, write it down in your notebook. English to English. 3, using a dictionary to translate everything. And I don't even have to explain why this is a bad habit. Because again, you're translating That's the whole problem. I think now we're coming to a very good understanding of the problem. If you want to think in English, you have to break the cycle of translating. And sadly enough, most of the books in our school system are teaching translation. They're not teaching speaking or grammar or nothing. They're teaching translation. So whatever you do, do not translate. Go buy yourself a learner's dictionary, English to English dictionary, or use an online dictionary, but do not translate to your mother tongue. And 4, translating everything in your head. Again, you see, this is another problem. Translating in your head. You see a sentence and the first thing you do is, wait a second, and you start translating. Do not do this. Try hard to understand that sentence as it is. Don't try to change the sentence so you can understand it. Your brain is capable of directly understanding that sentence, directly extracting the meaning from the sentence in English. Do not train your mind to first translate and then get the meaning. Because, well, when you translate, you need time that kills your fluency, and you're using a different structure that kills your grammar. And that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Don't forget to try all the 5 methods that I told you about. And if you've tried any of these methods before, please share your experience in the comment section so other people